Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good time zone. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing well. We are back with another episode of Phoenix Wright Justice for All. Let's jump right back into the trial. So, end of last episode, we got a bit stuck. So let's go through everything again. Okay, so during the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it. Yeah, I'm still not sure what to present here. Um, let's just have a look through everything. I don't know if we've presented this one here yet, but I'm going to try it. I don't think it worked. Okay. Let's give ourselves one more chance and then reload. Maybe this one, because it's showing there's no other way to get a fruit knife. I don't know. But is there a fruit bowl on here? Maybe on the altar, who knows? Yeah, I'm kind of stuck. I did also have a comment from Yanni saying that this is one where if you haven't made the connection, then it's going to be very difficult to spot, and it's not an obvious connection just by looking at the evidence and stuff. Or like if you worked out exactly what happened in the murder. And I have a couple of thoughts, but yeah, I don't know. Okay, no, not that one. Let's reload. I think I'm going to look up what it wants me to do here, because I don't want to be sat here all episode. Like just trying different things until I finally get luck into the right one. So I'm going to quickly pause the recording and look that up, just so that we're not sat here struggling forever. And then I'll see if it lines up with any of my theories. But yeah, I'll be right back. Okay. I return. That will have been barely a second for you guys. So, I know what I need to do next. This is where we need to present the robe, and yeah. I don't know if I'd have made this connection, honestly, so... Missing the tiny hole on this costume will be the prosecution's undoing. Huh? What do you mean? This little hole has actually created a huge hole in your testimony. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. You said the two of them were fighting when the victim fired his gun at point blank. If that were true, then where is the gunpowder burn on this costume? Okay. That's the connection it wanted me to make. Gunpowder burn? This is what you testified earlier. When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. Oh. But there is not a single trace of gunpowder burn on this costume. That is a very good point. And what exactly does this mean? It means that when the shot was fired, they were standing apart from each other. I'm disappointed, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You think you can punch a hole in my logic with that? With wishy-washy thinking like that, anyone can explain anything away. Then I implore you to disprove my line of thinking. Let's see. In the middle of their fight, the victim pushed the defendant away. And it was then, when they were separated, that he fired. How was that? As if that was even possible. According to testimony, the wound from the stabbing was very severe. The victim would not have had the strength to push the defendant very far after that. Oh, well, then... That's right. The defendant must have pushed the victim away. After stabbing him, she must have put some space between the doctor and herself. And then, while she was preparing to strike again, the doctor took his shot. There, that should satisfy even you. That does make an awful lot of sense. All of that is conjecture and speculation. I don't think any of that is actually, like... I don't know. What do you think, Mr. Wright? I must be careful. I can't afford to make a mistake here. Concentrate and think. Something doesn't make sense. There is a fatal flaw in her argument, Your Honour. Fatal? Oh, I did the wrong voice and then got myself, like, tangled up in my brain and then missed the skipped text boxes that it did. Very interesting. I would love to see where this flaw is. Show me something that contradicts my explanation. There has to be a snag in her explanation somewhere. She put some distance between them before rushing to make the final blow. And when she was about to strike, the doctor took his shot. There must be a piece of evidence that contradicts this line of thinking. Okay. That doesn't contradict it. That one doesn't. So, right, let me just go over what she's saying. So she said that Maya stabbed Dr. Gray and then pushed him away. He shot her, or shot at her, and then because he missed, she went back in for the kill, I guess. Well, yeah, she pushed him away, he took out his gun and shot her, and then she wrestled the gun off him and shot him. I'm guessing it's the testimony. Maybe? Technically, that could have been made when she pushed him away. But if he was, like, on the ground and she pushed him away and made distance and was, like, stood up, then it wouldn't be at the bottom of the screen, I guess. I don't think... Alright, I'm going to rule out the costume because that's what we just presented. And that's what she's revolved her whole new argument around, so I don't think it'll be that. I don't think it's the knife. I don't think the pistol contradicts any of that. Sorry for yawning again. I don't think the autopsy goes against any of that. Floor plan. I wish I remembered which way round they were sitting. The key wouldn't make sense to present. I don't think that would. I think the only one that makes any sort of sense is this one. This is the piece of evidence that destroys your logic. Oh, I was right. It popped up with a picture. What is that? A folding screen? I would like to point the court's attention to the hole in this folding screen. Ah! It looks like you already know what I'm talking about. Who? Where? What? Mr. Wright, your explanation, please. Are these two really that clueless? The bullet went through the defendant's sleeve first, then the folding screen. Passed through at a height of approximately 8 inches off the ground, which means... When the shot was fired, Maya, I mean the defendant, was not getting ready to strike, but was actually squatting low to the ground. That's not quite the angle I was going for. Although I did mention that, I suppose. Yeah. I did say the hole would need to be higher off the ground. Maybe I was right on that then. Okay. Order, order. This changes everything. Please look at this diagram of the crime scene. The victim, Dr. Gray, was here when he fired the shot. And the bullet hit this folding screen. It hit at this location about 8 inches off the ground. At this time, the defendant was in this area. My guess is here. She was standing here near the folding screen. Wait a second. We know the defendant was close to the ground based on the height of the bullet hole. But how can you gauge the distance from that? Isn't it possible that the defendant was standing much closer to the victim? That's impossible. I guess I was right then. That was mostly a guess. But why? You of all people should know the answer to that question, Miss von Karma. If she was shot from somewhere closer, there would be gunpowder burns present. However, there is nothing of the sort around the bullet hole of this costume. Ah. Curse you, Mr. Phoenix Wright, you... I believe it has now been proven that the defendant was standing a ways from the victim when she was shot at. But do you think this has changed the defendant's situation? It changes everything. It has to change everything, otherwise we don't have a case. Honestly, Your Honour, this changes everything. The prosecution has claimed that the defendant was aiming to kill by stabbing. If that were true, delivering the final strike with the knife would be ideal. However, where and what was the defendant doing at the time? Squatting all the way by the folding screen? Exactly. If Maya Fey was the real murderer, why would she be by the folding screen instead of preparing to strike? Upon further consideration, it does make very little sense. Yeah, I figured there had to be a reason. Figuring things out and proving the logic behind everything is your job. Oof. Alright, with this, the rest of the trial should be in the blast radius of disaster. You're such a smart man, Mr. Phoenix Wright. To think that you've been able to take a completely hopeless case to this point. Now I know why Papa had a tough time with you. You amuse me. Ugh, of all the things to inherit, why did it have to be that smarmy smile? Detective, how dare you damage my perfect logic? Huh? How is it all my fault? You can start repairing your standing by first removing that 3-strand goatee. Oh, and rest assured your punishment will come later. Punishment? Well then, Your Honour, I think I've had all I can take of this detective's face. I think it's time to call in the next witness. Next witness? That's got to be Lotta. Very well. The court will take a 5-minute recess. After we reconvene, we will hear from the next witness. To be continued. Which we will continue immediately. Let's save the progress up to this point, though. Part 2.2, which is also a trial. June 21st, 11:37 AM, District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3. Phew, that was a close one. I knew you were giving it your all to defend me, but I could feel the death penalty hanging in the air. I felt like I was pretty close to dying myself. But you were wonderful out there. Why did I do that voice for her in the beginning? You listened carefully, made theories, and tricked everyone into believing you. Thanks. Wait, tricked? That must be the lawyer's secret technique, right? By the way, is the next witness who I think it is? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Lotta Hart. Oh, guess there's no escaping her, huh? Remember, Nick, you promised you'd save me. If you lose, me and my sister's ghosts will come after you and haunt you. Your sister? Are you talking about Mystic Mia? Yeah, do you remember her, Pearlie? My sister was a super good lawyer. She was also Nick's teacher. Oh, I didn't know that. Ooh. June 21st, 11:43 AM, District Court, Courtroom Number 2. We're back. Court will now reconvene. We're back. Court will now reconvene. Now, the first order of... Ow! I don't want to hear it, old man. After I call my witness, sit there quietly and watch like a good little boy. Yes, sir. Bring in the photographer who witnessed the channeling. Witness, your name and occupation, if you please. Hey, Phoenix, how you doing? Just fine. Sorry about this. Didn't exactly have a choice, you know. Yowza. Name and occupation. I declare. What intonation? Hey, Judge, this here is violence against my fair self. That's fine. That's fine? That ain't fine, that's a whip. Ah. There's no need for foolish outcries from foolishly foolish fools. Just hurry up and testify about what happened on the day of the murder. I haven't even gotten to say my name and job yet. The name's Lotta Hart, personal paranormal photographer, and I'm here to testify. Now, let's all be one big happy family, okay? Witness's account. Only the doc and the defendant went into the channeling chamber. We were waiting outside the door, and then bang, we hear this gunshot. Mr. Lawyer there broke the door down, and we rushed into the room. Inside was the dead victim and the defendant, waving a pistol around. I swear, other than those two, there was no one else in the room. And did you take a picture of the scene right after the murder took place? Reckon course. Yeah? Excuse me? Reckon course. It's short for you reckon? Of course I did. Ah. Does it look like I care? Just hurry up and show your picture to the court. A moment of truth. What will be in that picture? Which we've been wondering since we knew she took it. Let's see here. This here's the picture.
It would certainly seem that only the defendant and the victim were in that room.
They're emphasizing that so much that I think it's going to be there was someone else in the room, they were behind the screen. Are you ready, Mr. Phoenix Wright? I will clear all doubt about Maya through this cross-examination. Just watch me. Only the doc and the defendant went into the channeling chamber. Was it really only those two that went in? What are you blabbering about? You were there too, were you not? Ugh. Why don't you answer that yourself? Was it really just the two of them? Yes, Dr. Gray and Maya were the only two that went into the room.
Hold on, we can't have the defence testifying against its own client.
Anyway, folks, only the two of them went into the channeling chamber, you hear? But you knew that from the very beginning, didn't you? Witness, continue. We were waiting outside the door and then bang, we hear this gunshot. Was it really a gunshot? You insane? You must have heard it as well. Oh. Why don't you testify for the court, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Was it really a gunshot? Yes, I think it was something that sounded like a gunshot.
And why are we here listening to the defence testify?
And the world becomes just a little crueler. I heard a gunshot a long time ago, so I know, and I tell you, that was a gunshot I heard. Now this is where the story heats up. Mr. Lawyer there broke the door down and we rushed into the room. I'm going to press anyway. It's not punishing me to press, it's going to be the same. So let me get this straight. This Mr. Lawyer there broke the door down? Honestly, Mr. Phoenix Wright, why don't you tell us what happened then? Yes, Miss Von Karma, I broke the door down, sorry. Why does this feel like an inquisition? No need for apologising, that was great. You're a real man.
Oh, really? That's something I would have liked to see.
The judge is smiling rather openly. I'll take that as a good sign. And what did you see once you broke in? Inside was the dead victim and the defendant waving a pistol around. Are you sure it was the defendant, Maya Fey? Sure, I'm sure. Lotta seems awful confident in her testimony. We'll press harder. Lotta, please, think back to that day one more time. What you getting at? Remember what you said when we broke into the room? I was murdered. Lotta, at a time like this? Times like this were perfect for snapping up shots. But anyway, what's going on here? This gal, is she Maya? When you saw the murderer at that time, you couldn't even tell if it was Maya Fey or not, am I correct? Well, you see...
Order, Ms. Hart. You are here to present accurate testimony.
Yeah, sorry. Good. This shifts things back to my side. For a defence lawyer, your defence is terribly lacking, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Witness, think back to when those two entered the channeling chamber. When they entered. One of those people that entered the chamber was Maya Fey, correct? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was Maya that went in.
It looks like we've come to a collective conclusion. The person in this picture is most certainly Maya Fey.
Exactly. Rats, and I'm trapped like one, again. I swear, other than those two, there was no one else in the room. Are you absolutely certain of that? Sure am, but that old witch chased us out of the room, so... Old witch? Does she mean Morgan Fey? But there was no one else in there, and you know it. The channeling chamber was very dark, almost pitch black. Was there really no one else in there? What about... behind the folding screen? What about behind the folding screen? Did you check back there? Right given. Huh? What in the... Right given, you know, you reckon? That's a given. I took me a good look around the room once. There ain't no way anyone was hanging out behind the folding screen.
If I may have a word with you, Miss Hart.
What? You got a problem? Brett Given? I mean,
I am having a little difficulty in understanding you. If you would stop saying such things as reckon given... Ah.
Now then, Mr. Phoenix Wright, do you see a problem with the testimony or don't you? Oh, just as I thought. There's nothing wrong with her testimony. I was with her, so I know she's telling the truth.
Enough. It seems that there are no issues with Miss Hart's testimony.
At the time of the crime, only 2 people were in the channeling chamber. The victim, Dr. Turner Gray, and the defendant, Maya Fay.
The face of the defendant cannot be verified in this picture. However, if we think about the circumstances, it would have to be the defendant.
What am I going to do if I just let this go?
What is it, Mr. Wright? You look as if you have something to say.
If I make one wrong move, I'm going to have the judge against me. Is there anything I could present that would prove it's not Maya in that photo? Let's have a look at the court record. Let's check this photo. Okay. Hmm. Let me check the profile again. Doesn't tell much. Sorry, I need to keep looking at this photo. I need to get this right. I'm gonna go back again. Hang on. Let's see. Let's save. We'll do our usual. Maybe we need to say can't present anything yet. But I don't know. Let's try this one first. If this doesn't work, we can reload and we know we have to present something.
Well, Mr. Wright.
Nothing, Your Honor. That's very smart of you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You really should give up trying to prove this is not Maya Fay. I didn't say anything about giving up. I just don't have the right piece of evidence to prove my argument.
That's enough.
Is this it? Is this all I could do?
I think it is quite obvious to this court that a verdict of not guilty is not possible.
I told you. Totally 100% impossible.
Ms. Von Karma, do you have any further questions for this witness?
Having established the defendant's guilt, further questioning won't be needed.
What about the defence? No further questions, I presume?
I couldn't protect Maya. The defence... Phoenix, you can't make that kind of face. A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. Mia. Oh shit. Pearl is now channeling Mia. That's a bit weird. I guess I made it just in time, wouldn't you say? Pearls? Her clothes are a bit small. Anyway, what are you waiting for, Phoenix? Let's go. But how? She's already taken away every advantage. The advantage is still in your hand. Think carefully, one more time, about what you saw in the channeling chamber. So I don't know if that was the intended way to do it, or if that's like a fail-safe of, you've screwed this up. So, do you remember what you told me yesterday? Dr. Gray. I was murdered. What? Lotte, at a time like this, times like this are perfect for snapping up shots. You see, there is one final piece to this puzzle. Mia? Question Lotte one more time, Phoenix. I don't know if she's doing it unconsciously or on purpose, but she's not testifying truthfully.
Now then, this court would like to end the cross-examination period.
Please wait, Your Honour. The defence would like to request that the witness testify one more time.
Overruled. I'm afraid you're too late, Mr. Wright. The cross-examination has already ended. Furthermore, any unrelated
It's fine. I'll allow another testimony. Von Karma's case is perfect. Absolutely flawless. Ah, hubris. And what better time than this for you to see that?
But, I mean, I have some place I must go after this. Oh, all right, I'll allow it. Miss Hart, hurry and give us another testimony.
Well, heck, what am I supposed to talk about? Please tell us once more what happened when you burst into the channeling chamber. Okay, you got it. See, you got through to the judge somehow, right? Well, actually it was Von Karma's whip that got through to him. Witness's account part 2. When we broke into that room, all I could focus on was Maya. I was kind of scared of the dead body, so I didn't take a good look at it. I'm really bad when it comes to blood and ghosts and stuff, but I still managed to point my camera at Maya and take a shot.
Nothing sounds different from before.
Some parts of her testimony were very vague. I should press her on those sections. Struggle all you like as you taste the bitterness of your defeat. Well, amuse me with your useless questions, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'm waiting. Witness's account part 2. When we broke into that room, all I could focus on was Maya. So, what did she look like? You know, she looked almost like a different person.
Different person?
She may have seemed like a different person, however, she was still Maya Fey. We have already made that point abundantly clear.
Yes, that is true. Well then, Miss Hart, did you happen to see anything else?
I was, kind of scared of the dead body.
Oh,
excuse me. So I didn't take a good look at it. And perhaps that body was not Dr. Gray's at all.
Huh?
Well, I reckon that's possible. If the body inside that room was not that of Dr. Gray, then whose body was it, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Well, what if it was that of Maya Fey after the channeling? Or maybe... Ow! Foolish fool spouting foolish foolishness, just as I expect of a foolish fool such as you. If that were the case, then that would mean that Maya Fey is, in fact, dead. And that would make the defendant's chair quite a lonely place, wouldn't it? Oh, sorry, Maya. Are you all done here? Can I continue? I'm really bad when it comes to blood and ghosts and stuff. And even knowing that, you still persist in being a paranormal photographer? That's what I'm getting out of this here business. This gal's gonna get the dirt on the stars and be a tabloid photographer from now on. She goes through jobs faster than a baby through diapers. Ah! Mr. Phoenix Wright, would it kill you to stay on topic for a change?
Well, would it, Mr. Wright?
Yes, it would kill me, actually. Nice. Tag teamed in stereo. Guess I should be grateful it's not in 5.1. But I still managed to point my camera at Maya and take a shot. 2, right? 2 what? 2 shots. You took 2 shots.
But only one has been submitted as evidence.
Miss Hart, where's the other picture you've been withholding? We got there. No, you've got it all wrong, it's not me. I didn't mean anything bad, I know I can be a little mean, but I ain't evil. Well, at least she knows herself.
Then why have you not shown this other picture to the court yet?
Well, ain't it obvious? That prosecutor woman told me to shut my trap about it. What? Von Karma.
Ms. Von Karma, you're hiding critical evidence.
Unforgivable, Von Karma. Suppressing evidence like this? You're as bad as your father. Confront Franziska. Your Honour, the defence asks that Prosecutor Von Karma be held in contempt of court.
Well, yes.
Me, in contempt of court? You can't be serious. But you hid evidence from the court on purpose. That's not fair. Phoenix, are you a lawyer or a schoolchild? I was so angry I lost my composure.
Ms. Von Karma, would you care to explain yourself to this court?
I thought this picture was not important, and thus felt no need to submit it. That's all. How could you think?
The pictures were more or less the same. Oh.
Sorry, yawning again. So why bother with the second? I mean, it's just so much more trouble than it's worth for me to submit this as evidence. More trouble than it's worth? How can you say that? If you want to see it that badly, I'll submit it. Lotta's photo 2 added to the court record.
What is this picture?
It's obviously the second picture the witness took that day at the scene of the crime. Well, it's a little off-centre, but that's what you get with a nervous amateur.
I think the important point here is the person in this picture. This is most definitely not Maya Fey. What is the meaning of this?
This might be the break I was looking for. Now, should I or should I not insist that the person in this picture is not Maya? I mean it... Let's just double-check the picture without text in front of it. It's not because it doesn't have a bullet hole. I insist it's not Maya. Your Honour, as you can plainly see, the person in the picture is not Maya Fey.
Yes, I see that. It's not just her face, her whole body has taken on a different appearance.
There is only one conclusion that can be drawn, then. That somehow this other person snuck in and traded places with the defendant.
Order, order. Well, yes, I believe you are correct, Mr. Wright. The person who was inside the channeling chamber was not Maya Fey.
Mia, we did it. You're too soft. Huh? You're softer than Aunt Morgan's strawberry desserts, Phoenix. Take a look at Prosecutor Von Karma's face. She's smiling. I think you'd better continue to worry, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Miss Von Karma, what do you mean by that?
Your Honour, I would like for you to take a look at this picture. This was taken yesterday at the detention centre's visitors' room. This is Mr. Phoenix Wright and the defendant, Maya Fey, during his visit.
Maya Fey? But isn't this a totally different person?
She looks this way because she is obviously in the middle of channeling a spirit.
It's unbelievable that she could...
Yet it is the truth. When Maya Fey is in that state, she physically changes into the person she's calling. Ms. von Karma, a word, if I may. Mia? Taking pictures of someone during a private visit is illegal. Surely you must know that that picture can't be submitted as evidence. Obviously, I know this picture is illegal, but I never intended to submit it as evidence in the first place. But what is she? From the moment I showed this picture to the court, this case became all mine. After all, this image has now been forever burned into the judge's mind. I don't have even a single witty line. It looks like we've been had.
I don't claim to understand this, and I still cannot believe it. Are you saying that this person is the defendant, Maya Fey?
If I give up here, the trial will end. But if I slip up and say something wrong, it will cost me. Is there any way I can prove that the person in this picture is not Maya? I can prove it. There's no bullet hole! Your Honour.
Oh, the fire has returned to your eyes, I see.
This picture. Within this picture lies a critical contradiction to all the testimony up until now.
A contradiction?
So, you think you've spotted a problem with this picture? Then earn your keep. Why don't you point out exactly what is so strange in this picture for the court? The left sleeve. Please direct your attention here.
To the sleeve. But there isn't anything odd about it.
And that is exactly what is so odd. Something that should be there is suddenly missing. I was right. Should be there. Ah! There was a bullet hole in the sleeve of the defendant's costume. If that's the case, then it should be in this picture as well.
Miss von Karma, you intended to hide this valuable piece of evidence? You will most certainly be assigned a penalty for this.
All right, this should do some major damage to her argument. Don't celebrate yet. You like to bring down the mood, don't you? Take a look at Miss von Karma's face. Ugh, she's got that condescending grin plastered all over her face again. Tut tut, jumping to the gun again. I see, Your Honour. I would like to extend an apology on behalf of those incompetent fools.
What do you mean? What incompetent fools?
If those fools down at the precinct hadn't missed the bullet hole, I would have gotten a report about it. As I didn't, I could not have known that this picture was of any value to this case.
I see.
She's lying through her teeth, I know it. That woman knew everything. The bullet hole, the picture, everything. But you can't prove that. Francisco von Karma's idea of a perfect case is quite fascinating, don't you think? Your Honour, you need not worry. If you must assign a penalty, I'll personally make sure that that detective gets what's coming. I'm sure there will be a great gnashing of teeth at his next salary discussion. Or gumshoe. That man's salary's probably been docked so many times that he owes the police force at this point.
In any case, this is a very big problem. When the defendant was taken into custody, her costume had a bullet hole in its sleeve. However, on this photo, it would appear that right after the shooting, there was none.
The judge is confused by this strange twist of events. This is your chance, Phoenix. Load all you've got into this one shot, alright? Got it. Watch this, Maya. Your Honour. There is only one logical explanation for the contradiction. The shooter is someone else. The defendant's sleeve had a bullet hole in it. However, this person's clearly does not. There can be only one explanation. The person who shot Dr. Gray was not the defendant, but a different person altogether. What?
Order, order, order. If order is not restored, I will suspend this trial.
Ow! Ah! Why me? The defence's argument is a complete mess. A complete mess? I fail to see how. Please enlighten us. Hey, witness. Ah! What the heck? Is that any way to ask a girl a favour? Be quiet, you. You were the one who said it was only the two of them when you entered the room. Well, you know, if you were lying, I swear that my whip will be the last thing you see. Look, sis, you're looking mighty scary, so why don't we say you... Why, I swear, I wasn't lying or nothing. There wasn't anyone else in there, honest. You see, now riddle me this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Where did the defendant vanish to? And where did this other woman appear from? Why is it lately all I want to do is cry?
Well, if the person in this picture is not the defendant, then this poses two very big questions. First, where did the defendant vanish to? And second, where did this person come from?
That's right. Now hurry up and answer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Come on, you can't fall apart here, Phoenix Wright. I can't believe that even Mia's calling me by my full name. But, I mean, how am I supposed to prove something like this? Had enough yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Or do you think you have enough in you to turn things around even now? To turn things around? That's right. Mia would always turn things around and change her perspective. Phoenix? So, where did this intruder appear from, and where did Maya disappear to? I need to look at this situation from a different angle. Let's see. What if before we broke in, the third person was already in the room? And what if Maya had left that room somehow? If I could prove that either one of those conditions were true...
Mr. Wright, let's hear what you've come up with.
I think what happened before we forced our way into the channeling chamber is... a third person had entered it. Your Honour, I would like to present some evidence. I have proof there was someone else in the room before the murder took place. The music didn't stop, so I'm a bit worried. Was it the fruit knife? My other thought is maybe there's a secret passage underneath the map that goes to the side room. I wonder if this is where we need to present the key as well. I'll try it, but please take a good look at this.
Okay.
I've already seen it. Thank you.
And what is the purpose of this item?
Don't you see, Your Honour? I don't think you actually see what you're doing.
I think it is the court that should be sighing at you, Mr. Wright.
Oh, that was incorrect. Ouch, that stung. Present another piece. Maybe we present this again? No. Last one to try is the fruit knife, and then I'll think it over again. Okay. Let's skip through this. So we've got to go for the Maya left the room. Maya had left the room. Maya had left the channeling chamber at some point, and the defense can prove this. Oh, how a foolish fool makes a foolish face while dreaming foolishly foolish dreams. Maya Fey was being looked after by her aunt, Morgan Fey. The chances of her leaving the crime scene is lower than that detective's salary. She's catching strays.
Anyway, let's see some evidence. Prove that from the murder until the time of arrest, the defendant had left the room.
It could be this photo, honestly. Or not. Huh. Right, let's save. We have very few chances left. Present another piece. Was it the knife that I just presented? Let's try the key. Aha! We found it. Miss Hart, do you remember this key? Well, I've seen it. Hey, that's the channeling chamber key, right? Before the channeling started, Maya locked the door from the inside with that. The defendant herself locked the door. Yeah, that's why we all couldn't get the door open. That key's the only one of its kind, after all.
Oh, one of a kind, you say?
Hey, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Yes? It looks like she's catching on. I'm afraid to ask, but why is that key currently in your possession?
Huh? What do you mean?
If Maya Fey locked herself in, then the key should have been with her.
Yes, agreed.
However, she did not have the key at the time of her arrest. Ah, well ain't that a kick? So how come you're holding it? I got this as a present from a certain little girl. And that little girl was nowhere near the crime scene at the time. But that's preposterous. This means that Maya Fey must have left the room. If she had not, then I would not be holding this key you see before you. No. I don't know what my voice did there. Oh, we made it. Phew.
It seems we have come to an impasse. Those pictures clearly captured the face of the murderer. However, is this person the defendant or not? The defence is arguing that this person is not the defendant. Furthermore, as proof, this key has been submitted as evidence. Ms. von Karma.
How can this be?
At this point in time, a verdict on the defendant's guilt is not possible.
My perfect case. How is there a flaw in my perfect case? Don't... Oh, excuse me, burped. I'm getting too excited, talking fast. Don't think you've won yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'm a prodigy. I have never lost a case. And I don't intend to lose here in this courtroom to a fool like you. I don't care what I have to do. I will get my guilty verdict.
That's enough. If you would like to continue, do so in the lobby. Court will reconvene tomorrow at 10 a.m. That is all. Court is adjourned.
Oh, we made it. We survived. June 21st, 123, District Court Defendant Lobby Number 3. Wow. Was you, Pearly? You summoned my sis? Yes, I felt I had no choice. Great going, Pearly. I knew you were special. Hey, Nick, did you know? Yeah, it's not like anyone else in there could have done that. Nick, I know you're trying really hard and all, but I really don't remember ever leaving that room. And I don't think that a third person could have gone into that room. Yeah. Well, at least we have until tomorrow to figure things out. Like, what happened in that room, for instance. Yeah, I'm counting on you. Ah, I envy the two of you. Oh, by the way, Nick, do you think you could take Pearly back home for me? Sure. Alright, pals, you ready to go buy some tickets? Huh? Ticket? Poor thing. So sheltered. To be continued, and that feels like a very good place to leave off for today. I'm glad I didn't have to look up two things in one episode. Let's overwrite this. We've got another investigation to do now. I've got a secret tunnel theory coming along. I did not start that in the right key at all. for me to be, as in, like, for me to give it enough energy that it deserves. But we're going to finish up there. Hopefully our penalty refreshes. Otherwise we're on thin ice for the entire rest of the trial and we might need to save Scum a lot, but it's fine. If we need to, we need to. Yeah, I don't think I would have made that connection at the start of the episode or the end of last episode, so I have no regrets about looking that one up. Hopefully we won't need to do it again for the rest of the case, but I'm here for the story mostly. And I enjoy puzzling out the mysteries and stuff. So if I can avoid looking stuff up, oh, I pressed a button. If I can avoid looking stuff up, then I will. But it's not something that I'm like deathly afraid of doing, and I will sit there bashing my head against the wall for 50 minutes trying to figure something out because I refuse to look stuff up. So it will still be something that I will leave as an option in the future, but hopefully we don't have to use it too much. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you'll have a good one, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.